How is everybody doing? Welcome, one and all, to the very first Rotating Points podcast. Everything about the CDL or Call of Duty League for you nerds out there. I'm here. My name is Char or Charlie, and I'm joined by the beautiful, the lovely, my love of my life, Lena. Lee, also known as Dust. How's it going?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh yes, welcome. All right, let's just get started. All right. First things first, we want to say congratulations to Atlanta FaZe. That stage 3 champion. Those guys are just insane. Ever since the past like 2 Call of Duties, they've just been placing high. They got upset last stage by Toronto Ultra, and this stage they knocked Toronto Ultra out, and it was like they were shooting bodies at the end of that match. I think NYSL Subliners, they brought it all the way to the finals against FaZe. They knocked FaZe into the lower bracket, and that was round 11 S&D game 5 on Express. It was Hydra versus Sim 1v1. And
That was intense.
yeah, so it's like I actually thought that Hydra had to plant the bomb, but it was Simp that had to plant the bomb. But instead of planting, he kind of thought that Hydra was gonna push him if he planted, and so then he took the chance and waited it out. And it's an unfortunate loss to get knocked down, but hey, who cares? FaZe came back to win it all. All right. Some other key notes. It looked like Optic is finally gotten their groove. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what had happened, but they destroyed the first and second team, and then Toronto Ultra. They brought it all the way to round 11 game 5 S&D. Like this whole stage has just been so intense, right down to the wire, right? Finals, you could tell New York tried, right? Obviously I think it was like 5. I don't remember how the outcome was, but it was like I think FaZe won by like 2 points, and there's a fucking bug in my room. Okay. All right, but again, congratulations to FaZe. You have any words on that?
Big congratulations.
Oh, okay.
It was really fun watching all the games. So,
all right, what's up on the list now?
well, first big news. There's going to be Call of Duty Warzone World Series by Activision Blizzard. And it's going to be North American and European regions competing, trios and duos. Prize pool $1.2 million, and yeah, it's scheduled to be held on June 23rd. That's the very first of the 4 online competitions.
Something like that. Yeah, $1.2 million prize pool. That's I mean, it's a good chunk of money, especially with like battle royales aren't that pop. Like I wouldn't say they're not that popular. They're like Warzone's fucking blown up. It's humongous. Okay, but obviously like there's not a lot of like tournaments that go on for these things. But it's gonna be interesting to see. I think they have it so that placings don't matter as much, but it's mostly kills that it's gonna matter. Instead of having to like camp out and get first place, right? I think it's just gonna be as like get as many kills as you can, right? While also placing high. Yeah, gonna be interesting. We both love, like, we want to play more Warzone, but obviously there's just some people out there just way too good, and then there's also other people that are just straight up just hackers, right? I think one time we like came across someone who's driving one of those trucks, and I was like, yo, there's someone here driving a truck, and someone, like, the truck stops in front of us, and all of a sudden I just die right away. I'm like, what the fuck?
Guy.
And the guy was invisible. Yeah, motherfucker was invisible. But obviously Call of Duty has its own fair of criticism especially with no anti-cheat and stuff like that. So who cares about that, right? We're not here to talk about Warzone too much, but obviously it's kind of bullshit how a AAA game does not have a sort of anti-cheat. But yeah, cool. The players that play Warzone, pro players that play Warzone, they play Warzone 24/7. That's their job and everything. There you go. Some money, some competition for them. Should be fun to watch. Right up.
Next up, new map. Well, at least to me, new map Standoff is now live in Cold War.
Oh yes, Standoff. Coming from Black Ops 2 Standoff with the optic van. Oh, Lena, you do not know this, but there's a meme going on about or not a meme, but it's like I'll show it to you after the podcast, but there's a clip during one of the tournaments in Black Ops 2. It was capture the flag, and someone stole Optic's flag, and they were running, and there's a van that blew up and killed the guy running with the flag, and Optic was able to save it and win the game. So the joke is like, the joke that goes on is that the Optic van was the 5th player in that game. So yeah, so Standoff is now live. We've played a little bit of it. I'm used to like playing a little bit of the old map, so I'm fine. I like Standoff. Standoff is fun. It's a fair map. I wouldn't say it's a fair map, but pretty, like, it's nice and even. What are your thoughts about the new map?
I really enjoy the new map. It's really like bright. It's not too cluttered, but it's not too open at the same time. So it has like, I think for me it has like a nice balance, and I enjoyed playing it. So
Okay, all right. Anything else next on the list?
next on the list, AR's buffed.
Oh yes. So the last patch notes. I think most of the ARs were buffed, and one of the ARs that got, like, I think, okay, so I kind of read it and I couldn't wrap my head around it because, small brained, but I'm pretty sure that Krieg got even more insane than it already was. I never had a chance to use it during pubs because I've been trying to get gold on the QBZ, but just by looking at the patch notes, it looks insane. More things to note, that snipers now have flinch. I think that's what the problem was at the very beginning of the game, was that snipers, like when getting shot at, had almost minimum to no flinch. Maybe this change allows pro players to maybe play it in the CDL, maybe, because they buffed the ARs. ARs can compete against snipers in a way. Snipers now have flinch. You hit a sniper who's trying to snipe you, they get knocked up, maybe. But again, there's also the issue with smokes, and smokes, like, for some reason there's a big glitch with smokes and they don't want to use smokes, or they just ban smokes completely instead of fixing it. Yeah, who knows? We'll see if snipers will be back in the CDL. I'm pretty sure they're not banned, but they are GA, gentlemen's agreement amongst the players. Yeah, what is next up on the list here?
This is a good news, I guess. Stage 4 major will be on LAN. Well,
Fucking finally. Right?
Maybe without people like spectators.
Yes.
Just, players.
So stage 4 is announced. Well, stage 4 major will be on LAN, so that's gonna be like a huge boost. But obviously, like, there's some players out there they say like, oh, online is like not like how we do, like there's like, we're a team that like works, like we play better during LAN. All right, so this is the time, like, will this prove it, right? That's gonna resolve all the ping issues that they have, where like one team has 5 ping and the other team has like 60 ping. It's gonna resolve all like the issues of like maybe communication. The team will actually be there on the stage. Maybe more trash talking that we could see. Obviously, Call of Duty really big with trash talking. I'm a fan of it myself. But yeah, like I think we assume that there's not gonna be any spectators within the buildings. But obviously, the US, they're progressing really quickly with like vaccines and like being more like getting rid of COVID in a way. So that's a good step forward. Very excited. It's gonna be good to watch something on LAN again, right? I think the last time we watched the LAN was the Overwatch League one in Hawaii, and obviously like that was good, but it kind of felt like you knew that they had to go there because of like to make it land, right? So hopefully now it's like we see it. It's more professional in a way. Um, but yeah, excited. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, very exciting. I miss like land events.
Yes.
All right, next up is a little bit of a sad news because it's not confirmed yet, I guess, but expansion teams. We were expecting expansion teams, and we were like, oh, you know, which which one's going to be next? But then Zuma
Yes.
stated or heard that there won't be any expansion teams next year.
Yes. So on the
And
flank, to my big fan of the Flank podcast by Zuma and Ben, um, Zuma did state that he has heard that there will be no expansion teams next year. And I think, like, why the fuck? Like, why would you not have expansion teams next year? Like, teams, like, you have one Canadian team, and that's Toronto, right? Especially with Toronto winning stage two, I would assume that maybe CDL looks into like picking up like Canadian teams, right? Because Toronto, there's big cities like Vancouver, Montreal. That would also fit over with the Overwatch League. How there's the Vancouver Titans, right? Maybe like other teams like just expand, right? Obviously we I think we both would agree that we would like to see like Asian Pacific, like APAC region for Call of Duty, see how they do. Because like look, if Koreans played this game and they put as much time into it as all the other esports, this whole game would be run by Koreans, right? They'd like stomp everyone. But obviously Koreans would rather play games without a controller. um but no expansion next year is kind of absurd. This is, if there is going to be no expansion team for next year's Call of Duty, that will be a missed opportunity for the league itself to say like to make money, to make competition more fierce, things like that. But obviously this is just a rumor, but who knows, right? We'll have to see. um so what is next up on the list?
next on the list, we'll talk about roster mania stuff.
Mhm.
First off, Dallas Empire.
Okay, so Dallas, a couple days ago, they tweeted out a thank you post for Philo, which means that pretty much he's benched and sent down to the challenger scene. And I think it was just today, the 21st, that LAG actually, Los Angeles Guerrillas, actually transferred Vivid, who was on their roster, to the Empire. So this is very strange, because are they gonna move Illy back to the SMG? Oh, sorry, Illy back to second AR, with Krim being first AR. Obviously, Dallas Empire want to win, right? Everyone's goal is that they want to win. But Illy has stated that he feels more comfortable on the SMG. It was getting a little bit of, it was sorry about that. He said that he was getting used to using the SMG again, but he felt more comfortable on it. So Vivid, I would assume he'd be picking up the sub with Shotzi, and obviously that's going to change Illy back to second AR, with Krim being main AR. And I just like do you just like drop people because of like egos? Like, for example, I'll ask you a question here, Lena. Like, say that you have like two really strong voices on a team. There's four players, and it gets pretty bad between the two players, and pretty much the players have to choose between one or the other. Do you think that's fair for the whole team to go through something like that?
It's definitely tough, but you have to like try your best to resolve it. But if it's like not gonna work out, I guess you like try to make changes that like benefits for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I've never been on a team or anything, so I really don't know how it works,
Okay,
but
that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, so it's just like I feel like with a big ego person like Crim6, maybe not agreeing with things with like Huke, and that's probably why they dropped Huke instead of a player like Crim6. Obviously Crim6 many championships. I think he's like the most winningest Call of Duty player to date. And he's still playing, which is just awesome. I'm not saying anything bad about Krim. He's an incredible player. I respect that. But maybe sometimes ego gets in the way. Like, why do people just like start dropping people instead of just trying to fix it themselves? But who knows, right? My thoughts about them during stage 3 was they weren't really that impressive. Before the stage 3 major, during the league matches, I thought they played decent, like okay-ish, not like the greatest. And losing Huke or dropping Huke, it really hurt them. Huke was the other SMG, and to be honest, I think I would have thought about maybe dropping Illy. Not dropping, but maybe benching Illy instead of dropping Huke. Huke is obviously one of the core players, and to have one of your core players leave is just, who are you going to replace a core player with? Who that's available, especially during a time where it's the middle of the season. Everyone is probably trying to keep their core players together. Maybe bench or get rid of or drop like other pieces, like other players, not core players. But to drop a core player during the middle of the COD season is just, it's an interesting move, right? So who's the core on Dallas Empire? I would assume Crim6 is a core. And I would also assume that maybe Shotzi, between Shotzi or Illy, is a core. But Shotzi / or Illy over Huke, that's kind of a question mark. I think I would have dropped Illy or benched Illy, but it is what it is, right? So moving on.
Next up, Minnesota rocker benching accuracy and adding Major Maniac.
Yes, so Major Maniac has returned. Benching accuracy. I think Minnesota, they did lose to, I think it was London. They got 3-0'd by London, which was kind of a surprise because I had in my pick'ems Minnesota beating London 3-0, or whoever. Someone winning something 3-0 for Minnesota. Minnesota was winning. They were not losing to London. And the benching of accuracy is kind of surprising. I thought he was doing okay. I wouldn't say he was doing the worst, but obviously he tweeted out that he said that that he was having the worst like month or whatever in his entire career. And they dropped that they benched accuracy and they added Major Maniac. Obviously it's been a while since I've watched Call of Duty League, and I've just started to pick it up again. Hopefully Major Maniac can step up and help Rocker move forward with just playing better. It was just like it was I was surprised by the announcement, but it's one of those like low key, like you kind of need to but you kind of don't type of change. Next up on the list.
There are 2 changes for London Ravens.
Okay, yes. So there's 2 changes for them. The first one is that Zaptius leaves, or they let Zaptius go because Zaptius was actually on a temporary contract. I think it was like a 14-day contract with London Royal Ravens. And then they also benched Zed. And Alex returns. Alex, I think if like the way that I understand it, he left for personal reasons for a little bit, and now he's back. And Afro, who people said that he was kind of like really good during challengers or online, right? So they've been both not just been added back onto the team, but they've been promoted to the main roster. Zaptius leaving, I understand him leaving or not like leaving because of it's a temporary contract, right? But benching Zed, I don't know, like London Royal Ravens, they played very well, especially being like one of the bottom seeded teams. I thought they played very well. Benching Zed might be questionable. We will see if they maybe do like a 5-man roster with like Zed moving back and forth between maybe everyone else. Paulé X, absolutely beast of a kid. I think he just needs a little bit more time getting used to the league. He's doing really well already, so that's fine. And Shawnee's just been been around in Call of Duty for so long. He's just skilled. He's an in-game leader. I would assume he's vocal because I think he's like British or something. Those Brits, like British, right? But yeah, Alex returns. Afro joins. Zapdius leaves, and Zed is benched on the Ravens. What else is on the agenda?
We'll talk about Paris Legion making changes.
Yes. So, okay. A little birdie told me, aka Charlie Intel, Call of Duty League Intel, alright? Paris Legion possibly adding Zapdius. And maybe dropping Classic. Or Classic leaving, right? I think there's also there was also an article saying that Paris Legion actually tried to acquire Saints from the NYSL Academy, but obviously negotiations dropped because the transfer fee or the buyout fee for Saints was $25,000. And the funny thing is, a couple days later, Saints no longer on the NYSL Academy, so no transfer fee paid, no buyout paid. I don't think so. Money, no one really talks about money around gaming, Call of Duty League, contracts, so we have no clue what's happening, but it looks like Saints is no longer on the NYSL Academy. Paris has been scrimming with Zapdius in the lineup and Classic not in the lineup, so maybe they add him for the next couple of games, see how it goes. Zapdius he's still a kid. I think he played very well for London Royal Ravens, and I don't know if he would be an upgrade over Classic. They have Temp, who used to be on LA Thieves, and they have Aqua, and who the fuck else do they have here? Sorry, 1 second. But Classic, Zapdius for replacing Classic is just kind of interesting, we'll just have to see, because I really don't know if I have to say it again, I don't know if it's a big upgrade. Zapdius obviously kind of new to the scene. He played for FaZe Clan Academy last year. Obviously I want to see teams do great, especially with people that are new to the scene, but they can only you can only do so much, right? It's definitely not an upgrade over Classic. Paris has the team of Scraps, Temp, Classic, Aqua. Classic maybe being dropped for what's his name, for Zapdius, but I don't think that's gonna change anything. It's gonna be Classic is a fast player, I think, and all these players, Aqua, Scraps, and Temp, they're a bit of a more slow play style, especially in an evolving type of gameplay where everyone's just sliding in and just slide canceling, going right into point, going man mode, just full and rushing people. And I don't know if it's gonna work out. Who knows? Maybe I'll eat my own words here, but it is what it is. What else do we have next?
Okay, last but not least, we'll talk about Seattle Surge.
Oh, okay. So with Classic being dropped, Seattle Surge has announced that Decimate actually benched himself, and now he is playing in the Challengers. So it wasn't like a team decision. It looks like it wasn't a team decision because I think the statement said that Decimate offered to bench himself, probably to play with bros in the Challenger scene, right? So if he benched himself, and it really truly is that because he wants to play with his friends or whatever, this kind of tells you the like atmosphere, the culture of certain teams, losing teams. This is the old type of Call of Duty culture that ends a lot of teams. You got four good players. They like they're supposed to play really good during certain tournaments. Then they lose. They say fuck it. Like three of them go against one. You fucking suck. You're out of the team. They pick up another player, probably a worse player. Then they look for problems. They're like, hey, you fucking suck. Get out of the fucking team. We're dropping you. Sorry, buddy. Will they ever stop and just play it out, work it out, right? This is a team game, right? This is not like StarCraft 1. StarCraft 2. You can't play 1 versus 1 and rely solely on your skill. That's purely your own skill if it comes to like a 1v1. And then there's team games. You can't just be like dropping players because like you guys aren't winning. Maybe if you guys started to, you know, sit down, talk, have game plans, work together as a team, you guys would probably show up. Big example right here, okay? Optic Gaming, Optic Chicago. The last two majors, they dog shit performances. They lost 3-0s against certain teams, right? But they didn't drop anyone. Nope, I'm trying to remember. When was the last time they dropped anyone? Nope, no one. Dashi, Envoy, Formal, Scum. That's their core. All 4 players are the core. They're not going to drop anyone. They sat down, they worked out their problems, they came 4th. They almost beat Ultra. Almost beat Ultra. One round from beating Ultra. And look, that's great. They work together. There's trust within that team. And you know, I'm just blabbering on about random shit, but it works out, you know? Teamwork is the most important thing ever. It's a team game, not a solo game. If you're telling people to fuck off, you fucking suck, maybe you're the problem for a team. Maybe your ego is so big that you're not realizing that you're the one that's actually dog shit. You're pulling your team down. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not a pro player. I don't know like what people do behind the scenes, right? We're just here to talk about what we see. Obviously, my opinions might be like wrong, or my opinions aren't right to you guys. But obviously, this is a podcast. We're here to have fun, right? We're here to talk about everything Call of Duty League, right? If you guys out there, any of you guys who know people that are, you know, they like do this, they like to talk about Call of Duty League, any former pros or current pros that want to come on to, you know, talk, interview, come on. Send me a DM on it, Twitter. Send me a DM on Instagram. I don't fucking know. Right? Just contact me, email me, call me if you have to, right? Vancouver. All right. And I think that pretty much ends pretty much everything. Do you have any other words, my beautiful?
Nope.
Yeah? That's all right. I think that's going to do it for today. It was kind of heated at the end. I do apologize for that. I always believe that playing as a team is better than an individual person. Unless you're playing like Overwatch, because most of the time that people that play Overwatch are kind of brain dead. But if you work together as a team, you could accomplish anything, you know? The power of friendship, I like to say, whenever I watch like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, right? Power of friendship is what drives a team together, right? So with that said, thank you everyone for watching the first episode of Rotating Points. My name is Char Charlie. This is Lean Our Dust. We would like to say, see you guys next week, hopefully.
Thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
See ya, everybody.